understanding you've already got it, and if you're not, we can get you back in, no trouble. We're going to cover that later. So with that intro said, guys, are you as excited as you should be, I think is the question. I hope you are, because give us a bit of feedback in the chat box, because the content this evening is going to be pretty life-changing, or SEO business changing for sure. So great, thanks guys for the comments coming in, appreciate it very much. Aaron says definitely excited, won't be able to sleep. Yeah, Aaron wants to see why he won't be able to sleep. Well, we're about to show that to you. Chris, did you start your recording, by the way?
Yes, recording, yes.
Oh, good, fantastic. I forgot to start mine. Let me start it now as a backup, but as long as we got yours, that's the main one. And let me hand over to presenter of you to you, Chris, if you're ready, and we'll take it away with the first section on hybrid SEO. You ready?
Yes, I am, yes.
Hang on. Is it the muted one I need to hand presenter to, or the unmuted?
No, the unmuted.
Okay. Got
yes.
it. Coming right up. Okay.
Oh, no, it's the other one. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go for that one. Try that.
That's great.
Okay. All right, it's coming through. Take it away, Chris. I'm going to mute myself. Guys, I'll be here in the background, and Chris is going to take you through this.
Okay, so yeah, thanks, John. This is the what you're familiar with, the SEO breakthrough site, and here you see we've got now 10 modules. So we did have, I think it was 7 modules, so we got 3 new modules. All right, I'll just skim over them briefly and just show you what's important. Okay, introduction, hybrid SEO blueprints. Now, a lot of people, a lot of members actually haven't seen this, haven't looked at this, and this has been updated, this PDF. You can download this, but this shows you and takes you through what you need to do in a weekly basis, if you like. So if I just open this up, just so you can see. So you're determining whether your site is low, medium or high competition. There's a video that shows you how to determine what level of competition your site is in. It's a rough gauge, but it's reasonably accurate. So once you've determined that, then you can decide here, well, let's say your site is in a low competition bracket. This tells you from what you need to do in week 1. So these steps in week 1 tells you what module the bits and pieces are in, and tells you exactly the steps to do. As you can see, there's not a huge amount of steps that you need to do to rank on page 1 of Google. Okay, so then medium competition, same again, and then finally high competition. Okay, so that's it basically. Quite an important document, and it's just there for you to follow as a just as a checklist, really. But yeah, a lot of people maybe didn't realize it was there, but it is here, and it's a good resource. Okay, so what else have we got in this package? Well, a lot of people had, well, not a lot of people, but a reasonable number of people had asked about setting up a money site. You know, so it's newbies basically. So this is about keyword research, setting up your site, analyzing the competition, buying an aged domain for your money site. It has some advantages, and it goes through the reasons why there are some advantages there, and then on to building your new website. So these last 2 videos are really for people who are new to this. If you're most of the members here, most of you on the call here won't need to have a look at those. All right, so then going through to the next one, on page perfection. So on page, some of these are existing videos. We have got, I think there's about 40 new videos, so that's a lot of videos. Basically, there's probably about, well, a few videos are the same, but most of it is brand new. So let me see. yeah, most of this module is the same as it always was. And off-page preparation. Now, this is something that's that is a must to look at. Okay, what is a must to look at is this is a new video. And what we're looking at is basically there are so many sites, members here, who have sites that are under what we call a stealth penalty. That's our terminology. It's not an official terminology. We call it stealth penalty because stealth, as you know, comes upon you and you don't even realize it. If you've been trying to rank your site onto the first page of Google and it's just not happening and you can't see any reason why not, it may well be that you are under a stealth penalty. Basically, a stealth penalty is Google doesn't trust your site. There's something about your site or your backlinking profile that Google doesn't trust, and for that reason it's holding you back. So that's why we're calling it a stealth penalty. You can't see a reason particularly why. You can analyze things and think, well, actually this doesn't look right, this could be the reason, but you don't know for sure. So go through this. There's some information here about what you can do. You can notice here we've got a Google disavow tool here, so be careful how you use that, and the video will tell you why. So that's an important video if you're possibly one of those who may be under a stealth penalty, and there's a lot of you. I have seen a lot of sites under a stealth penalty. Okay. Next one is a must video to watch. This is important anchor text information with a PDF that you can download. This is anchor text balance. Your anchor text is thing that people are getting wrong. Okay, we see a lot of things because of members sending information about their sites, and almost everybody is using money phrase anchor text in virtually every backlink. Some backlinks are using brand or just a few, but I would say that most people are using money phrase or money phrase included or part money phrase anchor text way too often, and it's for that reason that Google won't trust your site. Now, when you look at this document here, you'll be surprised at the anchor text guidelines, and it's so essential that you stick to those guidelines, because if you don't, then your site's in trouble. Once you lose Google's trust, it's going to be hard to get it back again. So it's best to trust in the first place. So yeah, I mean, I would recommend that you just go through the entire package again, because there's some of the videos may just be updated with a section. So there's some important stuff here. Basically, Google has changed so much, we had to update the entire package. I didn't want to do that. John's right, it's taken 9 months to do, and it's been really hard slog to do this. It wasn't just a case of throwing out a video here and there. It was full time, 9 months doing that. So do yourself a favor and go through the whole process. All right, so super link structures. This is brand new. All right, I'll go to this and super link structures. So it's introducing you what's this, and then we're looking at backlinks versus super link structures. All right, so most people, pretty much everybody has been doing direct linking through PBNs, probably many sites, to the money site and getting some good results. those results over the last 6 months, or the last 6 to 12 months, have been getting poorer and poorer. They still work. You'll still be able to rank with mini sites, direct linking. But what you'll find is that they're not as effective as they used to be. Google's done something algorithmically that they can detect if it's a PBN, a mini site. They can detect somehow, they can detect something. Perhaps they don't detect algorithmically that it's a PBN or a mini site, but they detect something that's not right. And as a result, they, I wouldn't say they sandbox you, because you're not sandboxed, but you're held back. And so basically it's back down to Google's trust again. And you're losing Google's trust because something that they've figured out algorithmically. Now, it could be that a number of factors about PBNs, are mainly PBNs, not so much mini sites the way we teach, because they're the way we teach mini sites, you can't tell the difference. But there's several things that a lot of people do with PBNs that, you know, that it seems that Google's just worked out a way to detect and wipe out the trust on your site. Okay, so that's something to look at. So now you see here, this is video coming soon. Actually, the video, all being well, will be here tomorrow. I'm working on it, haven't had time to complete it. Also here, you'll see a button, Salsa. Now Salsa, you click this button, that will take you to the new software, which I'm going to demo in a moment. Now Salsa stands for Super Authority Link Structure Application. And well, as I said, I'll show you and demo it. And this is such a great tool. And I wouldn't like to do SEO now without this tool. All right, so this is going to be available for everyone who's in good standing with their you know, with their subscriptions. So yeah, so the software as well will be ready tomorrow, all being well, and be up on the site. So we're just working away heavily on that. So I won't go through all of the details on every module here, but just to show you all of the different videos that help you build your superlink structures. And this is the way to go for ranking in 2017 and onwards. If you watched the last webinar that we did, last coaching session, you'll have found out the reason why these are so important and why this is the way to go. So without going into too much detail and opening every one of these, we've got a new module right at the end, which is social media marketing. Now, you don't need to go through this module to rank your site. It's not required, but we have had people asking about social media marketing, and some people want to do social media marketing for their clients. So this module is here to take you through. It's comprehensive, and there's a lot of detail. In fact, I'll just show you here. So there's the introduction. This is a manual that you can download. It's quite a big manual. Checklist, in-depth checklist to setting up all of your social stuff. Resource sheets, and this is a mind map which you can download and open up. So that's it basically as an overview of the package that you're dealing with. Now on to the demo of Salsa. Okay, so this is
before you go into this, Chris, let me just interrupt and say, from me for a start, thanks for all that work that you put into those modules. And guys, I don't know if you want to show your appreciation for Chris. that all the work that he's put into this, which is nearly 99% his and 1% mine. So he's done an outstanding job, and all of you members, guys, it's yours complimentary. So that's a lot of effort that has been done for you guys, and yeah, thanks, Chris, and look at all those lovely comments coming in from everybody. Yes. But really is a very, very impressive package of work, and it's not just the amount of time you put in. It wouldn't be much good if you put in all those 9 months of effort just to give us something that was pretty average. But like I was saying at the beginning of this, that effort you put in to set all this out clearly in videos, to build the apps around this to assist people, that enables our members with this information now to rank like never before. So very, very powerful. Thanks, Chris. Anyway, just wanted to interrupt and make your head swell a little bit. And I'll, when we get off the call, I'll say some nasty things to you so that your head shrinks down again. But for right now, thanks very much. Anyway, go ahead with the demo. And guys, you'll love this app. This is going to turn what could be a difficult and complex task, i.e. structuring your backlinking, into something. This is part of our turnkey process. This is going to make that sophisticated, super powerful, super authority backlinking processes turnkey simple. So very, very powerful. Take it away, Chris. I'll shut up now.
Thanks very much, John, and thanks for everybody for your kind words in the chat. So this is on another site at the moment, where it's been a test site and we've been building it on. And once I've fully tested, which is just going to take probably the rest of tomorrow. So as I say, hopefully this will be on the site late tomorrow. If it's not, then it will be the following day, but I'm definitely hoping for tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be tomorrow. It was supposed to be today, guys, and that's why we said today, and we were sure it was going to be Monday, actually, and we're 2 days late, so I'm sure we are very close. And Chris, sorry to jump in again. I just wanted to say one thing, maybe just before you go into the app demo, just expand very briefly on the backlinking changes. And I'm sorry if you covered it when you were going through the modules a moment ago. I was head down concentrating on just amending something that we had talked about earlier. But just to make, because I saw one question come in from Patrick, just to make sure people understand the fundamental change in backlinking in the link structures, and then how this app helps follow on from that.
Yes. Okay. So, firstly, if you haven't seen the last webinar, which we did, last members webinar, I recommend that you have a look at that, because that goes into detail about backlinking and how things have changed. But to précis it, what's happened is Google is very, very much aware of link profiles. So link profiles are something they look at to penalize you, basically, or to promote you. Something is going to happen with your link profile, so you need to look natural. Direct linking to your website, and that's all you do, is okay. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. Direct linking to a single page, your main money page, and that's all you do, is very bad, because it's not natural, and Google will spot it in a heartbeat, and you will lose Google's trust, and therefore probably end up in a stealth penalty, or worse. So worse would be a penguin penalty, in which case you're never going to rank until you fix that issue. Another one is link velocity. And I see this a lot because we get tickets. Link velocity is the number of backlinks that you acquire over a period of time. Now, if you look at your competition, and I'd show you how to assess your competition, how their link velocity is in the members area. There's a video, I can't remember which one. But if you take one of your competition's URLs, their homepage or URL itself, put that into one of the tools like Majestic, Have a look, find out how long that site's been up for. You can find that out from Whois. Let's say it's been around for 6 years, for example. Well, Majestic will show you links over the last 5 years. All right, so what you want to do is have a look at the number of links over the last 5 years. So let's say there's 1,000 links that site's got over 5 years. Well, if you divide 1,000 links by 5, that will give you how many links they've received in a year. And if you divide it by 12 or divide it by 52, you'll see how many links they've had per week. Well, let's say there's 50 weeks, and you divide, where there's 1,000, that's 200 divided by 50 is 4. So 4 backlinks a week. All right, so that's how many backlinks a site that's got 1,000 links over 5 years has had. So that's the link velocity, how you can work out. If you're doing 20 backlinks a week, well, that's kind of too many. And because that's how you would have been doing direct linking, and that's how you would have done it in the past, because it was a need to do that to get you to rank. You needed the quantity of your PBNs, etc. But the link velocity is becoming more and more of a factor. And the way Google's going is that they're after quality and relevance and authority. That's what they're looking for to rank. That's what they want to rank at the top. So they're looking for, they want to rank sites which have backlinks, which are relevant, high authority, and from trustworthy sites. And the current way that most people do backlinking, they don't have that. They don't get that link. They don't get that. So they need a ton of them to rank. And therefore, you've got a number of issues, because if you're sending 100 links to your money page, well, Google knows that the average ratio is, let's say, 50-50. It's not 50-50. It's a range between 40% links pointing to your money site and 60% go to the rest of your site, through to 60% going to your money page and 40% going to the rest of your site, whatever pages, etc. So if you, let's say, a 50-50, just for ease of maths, if you've got 1,000 backlinks and 500 pointing to your money page, for your site to look natural, that means you've got to get another 500 links to spread throughout your site. Well, that's no fun, is it? To get that happening. And so you can dig yourself into a real hole. So the trend, we put all this together, which is what we've done, is that Google's looking for authority, relevance, and quality. Less backlinks. If we've got super authority, highly relevant links pointing to our site, they're worth way more than a ton of backlinks. Google goes by PageRank. We don't know PageRank. Google's removed that, but Google still uses PageRank. One PageRank 10 backlink is worth thousands of PR 1 or 2, for example. Thousands and thousands of them. It's just one link. So that's the quality that you get. That's the power that you get, where the higher up the authority it goes. So if you've got a backlink that is super authoritative, you don't need that many to rank your site. So what that means is, let's say you only need 20 links to rank your site. Okay, so that means that 20 links points to your money site, money page. The if you're doing a 50-50 split, you need another 20 points into any other pages in your website, and that's easy. So therefore, we need to have amazing links pointing to the money site, and that's where Salsa comes in. So I'm going to take you through this. Let's create a new project. So I'm going to click on this button here, and let's give the project name, call it Webby Demo. Webby Demo.com, because you want to give it the domain name, and then niche, let's say computers or marketing, whatever you want to do. It's just for your information. So now we've created this here. Next thing to do is click on this to open up the demo, the whole package, this project as a project. So we've got no link structures found in this project because it's brand new, we've then just created. So what we want to do is start building some link structures. So click on New Super Link Structures. What you have then is, if I scroll through all of these, there's 36 in total, different link structures. The reason why there's so many is so that, it's 38. The reason why there's so many is so that you only use the same one type once. And the reason why there's so many is because each one of these is different. Now, if you've got a link structure that has no pattern to it, linking to your money site, you become unpredictable with your backlinking. You can't predict what the structure of your next tier 1 backlink is going to look like. So therefore, you're going to look natural. If all of your backlinks, if all of your structures look like this, that would be unnatural, because if they were all type 4, then well, that would be weird, because that wouldn't happen in the real non-SEO world. So what you would do is have a look at these. Now you might think, well, that's hard to read, I can't really read this. So just click on it, and then this will open up full screen, so you can see what you're looking at. And you could think, okay, I like this one. I'm gonna select this one. So just click in that and work through them. So these initial ones are guest post based, but you might want to have some restored expired site types, or restored expired sites, or mini site types. So you can think, well, what does this one look like? So just click on that and it'll open up and think, okay, well, I'm happy with that. I'll choose this one as well. And then scroll down a bit more and think, well, this is a mixture of mini sites or restored expired sites and guest posts. Let's have a look further. Got some interesting stuff here, which I'll go through in a moment. Like this one, so I'm going to select this one. And just for speed's sake, I'm going to do 2 more. So I've selected 5 now, and then you click Add Selected. So these are the 5 that I've done. The reason I've picked 5 is because that's what you should do. You should pick 5, because you don't need to do a link structure, complete that link structure, and then do the next one. You can do 5 at a time. You can do more than 5 at a time if you want, but just for management's sake, you can do 5. And now let me show you this here. If you think, well, this doesn't actually mean a great deal to me. Well, there's 2 things. In the module 4, there's a document you can download. It's a PDF that shows in full each of these link structure types. But if you can't bother to get that out or print it out, you can always click this preview button, and it will show you and remind you what that is. Shows you the creation date of when you set up this in Salsa, and it gives you the status, so it's new. New means you've done nothing to it yet. You've just set the structure up within your projects. Let's say now that you want to start working on this. You just click on the type, and then this will bring you to this the worksheet. You can click on this and it brings it to full page, and the notes, again, it'll bring to a larger section so you can read what it says. And these are guidelines which you should read through and take a look at. The guidelines are the same on every type of link structure. All right, so then scrolling down, then you can come to the worksheet. The first thing that you would do is enter your money site, the full URL. It's just an example one. So when you fill this in, you notice that all of this is empty. But when I enter this in, okay, what you'll see is this URL will also fill here. So I'll click here, and now you can see it's also filled here. This is the anchor text URL. So you don't have to think about, oh, what URL do I put in here? So it's easy enough. I mean, the first one's pretty basic anyway. You'll know that information. But as you get into more complex link structures, you can start to become a bit of a well, mind-boggling really, because you start to think, well, hang on, what goes where, and etc. But that's what this is for. This is a management tool to help you manage your link structures. Now, what you'll see is you've got question marks here, web property type. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you hover over the question mark, if your web property is not a guest post, change the field below to the web property you're using, marketers media, for example. So you can do that. You can highlight this and type marketers media, for example. Status. Well, status, you've got to drop down here. What is the status? Well, you're working on it. Let's say it's a guest post again. Okay, so let's call this, let's put it back to guest post number 1. So let's say you've contacted the guest post webmaster and you're waiting for the response. We click on this. Now it's gone orange, so you know that it's pending. So orange means pending. Let's say you clicked this one and you thought, oh no, that's the wrong one. I shouldn't have clicked on that. You can click on any one of these and it'll change it, or you can reset the status and it will set it back to the default. The guest post URL. Now, you won't know that until it's been published. It links to the money site. You've got the URL here. The anchor text. What anchor text are you going to use? Well, to make sure that you don't get yourself into penalty, there's suggestions here. So if you hover over this question mark, it says use the following anchor text in this post, generic anchor text. A generic anchor text, contrary to popular belief, generic anchor text shouldn't always be short phrase, click here, or more info. It's okay to have some of them like that. You'll see in the anchor text guidelines documents about short phrase generic, but also there's long phrase generic. So if you go to a if you have an article and there's a sentence in your article that says to use the best tools, always make sure safety comes first. Well, that can be an anchor text. That can be a generic anchor text. You know, I've got a long phrase, generic anchor text. So you can use that. So in fact, let's add this into here, and I'll put always think safety when using a chainsaw. for example. That's going to be my anchor text. So then you can then go through the process, and then it's updated. Ordered guest post. Well, the ordered guest post is if you're using our service and you're waiting for the fulfillment. Article being written, well, that might be what you're doing. You might be writing your article, so then you can update it like that. So you're going to know what's happening. Every time that you update, and that's all you need to do, is just click the save button. The save button will obviously save it, and then you can go back to your link structure type. Now you can see we've got status in progress. Okay, so next day you can come back and you can think, well, let's carry on with this. Let's say, for example, that you've now submitted the guest post, you're waiting for the webmaster's response, you save it. Next day you come back, it's published. Great, it's been published, so it's complete. Guest post is published. Now it's gone green. That means you know it's complete. They give you the URL. Oh, let's say the URL is http treesareus.net, for example. And your guest post would be chainsaw tips. Let's say that's it. Now watch what happens when I click outside of this, because we autofill the anchor text URL that you need on your second tier. So you see this second tier, that guest post links to this one. So you don't have to think about all of that. Just need to think about, well, what anchor text do you use? Again, it's generic anchor text. In the meantime, now you've got this URL, you can start adding social signals. Now let's say, for example, well, comments are switched off. Let's say that there are no comments added. So there's a drop down here, comments added. So we'll say comments not switched on. So that grays everything out. If it's grayed out, it means it's no longer applicable and you don't have to do anything. And let's say you do want to do social signals. So social signal campaign commenced. In Salsa, in module 4, not Salsa, sorry, in module 4 in the training, we show you how you can automate real social signals, not some fake social signals done by some software or something. This is social signals which we've done we've been negotiating with a company that's that gets real social signals from real people legitimately onto real social accounts. This is their own, as if it was your own Facebook account or your own Google Plus account, not one which you may have set up for marketing, etc., or a junk one. These are real ones, so they're good ones to have. And most of them are in the first world countries, not in Asia or other places like that. So they're good quality, and we'll show you how to do that, and it's great. Then in here, you want to know, because you're doing a campaign, you want to know the dates that you set your campaign. Let's say this was set up, campaign was on the 18th, for example. Scrolling across here, by the way, this is the publication date. Let's say this was published on the 15th. If you want to add any notes, you click here and then a box opens up, and you could say, well, let's say we've got guest post here, but let's say, for example, you wanted to use Web 2.0. So Web 2.0 site or post used as first tier and not guest post, for example. And if you do that, then you just click off here, and when you click on here again, there it'll still be there for you to see. we'll probably update this actually and have this coloured so that you can see that you've actually made a note. So there's the first update that I need to work on. Okay, so then going on to the next section, let's say, for example, that you don't want to add social signals to this second tier. So social signals here, let's say, omitted from link structure. So it goes grayed out. Guest post number 2 status, let's say you ordered guest post and you're waiting for fulfillment from our service. So you do that. The anchor text, well, we know this is generic, so we can use a different one. Here's the way to successful branch restoration. And then so you would send that detail off to us, and we would then sort that out for you, and you would get your URL. So your URL might be http power.com. All right, let's do that, / branch care, for example. Social adder start date, well, what does that mean? Hover over the question mark and it gives you all the information you need. All of the data that you need for social adder is in the in module 4. Now, social adder, we wouldn't point social adder necessarily to the money site, but social adder's very good. The way that we're showing you to do it, and it's a really cool tip that you see in the social adder section. So here, and it takes minutes to do, really does, and it's all good quality stuff. So this helps build trust to your structure. So let's say you've been working on this. Let's say, for example, you've now completed it. So that's gone green. This is obviously will have gone green, and publication dates would have been, let's say it's June 13th, and this was started on May the 31st, for example. Well, now that's it. This whole structure is complete. And this wouldn't have taken you long to do. So you now mark the project as complete. So it's now complete. I actually did that wrong, actually. I should have saved it first and then click mark as complete. So that's another update to do. So that's complete. And just one final...
That's brilliant. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, just one final step. I showed you how you filled out a structure all in one go, but you wouldn't do it like that. You've got 5 here. So let's say, for example, I've got the reason it's not, this other stuff's not here is because I didn't save it. So the update will be if you click mark as complete, it's going to ask you, have you saved your project yet? Okay, so we're going to have that. Okay, so what you do is you do your first one here, save it, and then you go back to the link structure index, and then you work on type 11, and you get tier 1 going on here. You save it, go back to super link structure index, and then you do type number 27. So you're doing several all in one go. You make sure that they're not posted all in the same day for not all posted in the same day, so that you don't have weird link velocity. if you're ordering it from us, then there's notes for that to happen, and we would make sure that you didn't have them all happening in the same time. But if you're publishing them yourselves, then you have to make sure that they don't all happen at once. I won't go through all of the, sorry, what say, John?
I was going to say, great. I wanted to get to some of the questions and everything. I mean, I think the key. I mean, we've had some amazing comments, some of which I've sent back to everybody to see, but people are blown away by this, and I'm glad, and rightly so, because this takes it's more than just a management and tracking tool. This basically presents you with exactly the tasks you need to achieve, so you can build what are super complex link structures that are going to give massive authority and ranking to your site without really having to understand the details of that, because Chris has done the work for you in constructing these structures. And Salsa, the app, just takes you through that process and takes all the thinking out of it. And I think that's what hopefully you guys are seeing is so powerful, and certainly a lot of you who are making really nice comments are have seen that, because, and Lynn, I mean, can I quote you, Lynn? You said, you guys don't just hand us a fish, you provide a boat, a fishing rod, bait, and a means of bringing it home. And that's what this app does for what could be a really complex task if you didn't have this app, and that is these complex, super high authority link structures. But it's all laid out on a plate for you here. So, Chris, I don't know if there's anything particularly you wanted still to go through on this, or should we get to some of the other questions? If I've interrupted you and you've got something to finish, then please do.
Yeah, we can go on to questions. Just one thing before just go on to questions is if you've got this is a more complex link structure without using Salsa, this would be a nightmare to keep track of. You'd have to create your own a special spreadsheet, and it would just be a recipe for errors, really. But the Salsa is checked, thoroughly checked, everything works, flows properly, and gives you information that you need. Just one thing about anchor text. Do you know that you don't need to have money phrase in your anchor text to rank? You don't need it. It's not required. A money phrase anchor text is slightly more powerful than a non-money phrase anchor text, but when you're using a link structure, all of that doesn't matter. And that's why you'll see not that many money phrase anchor text. And one word of warning is those which do have money phrase anchor text, don't just focus on those, because if you do, then you're going to have a link structure that's not natural. So don't think, well, I'd rather have money phrase anchor text just here and have them all as money phrase anchor text or part money phrase anchor text, because it might give you a slight boost as opposed to generic brand or domain anchor text, but you're risking a stealth penalty for doing it. So just any of these link structures are fine for you to use, and that's the key. Obviously, the bigger ones, like this is a bigger one. It's not the biggest, but these are powerful. And when you get into module 4, the 301 redirect domains, have a look at those. Those are really good. That's a good tip here. There's lots of tips that you'll find in the course that will that you'll be really pleased with. That you'll find great shortcuts, but very powerful. So that's it, basically.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. That is absolutely excellent, Chris. Thank you. And really a big part of our efforts to make SEO just a turnkey process, because you can see that potentially, if you're going to try and do this yourself, these super authority link structures yourself, even just tracking them, as Chris says, you'd have to build your own spreadsheets and systems internally just to keep track of what you're doing. Well, we've done all that for you, obviously, with the Salsa app. But more importantly, that under the hood here, under the bonnet, as we say in the UK, is a lot of complexity, but you don't have to worry about any of that complexity with Salsa, because with this app, it's all on a plate for you. We've done that work. We've built the complexity and the link structures. You just join the dots with them. And so I guess if you didn't have this, SEO is I started this call saying SEO is becoming actually easier and easier in some ways to play by Google's rules, and I suppose I can qualify that because without this app to help you build these link structures, well, actually this is getting quite complicated now. It was a lot easier to build 10 PBNs and link them all to your homepage of your money site, and that just doesn't work anymore. So I suppose maybe I was being a bit glib by saying it's getting easier, but I tell you where it is getting easier is if you've got this, because now you've got the complexity of these super high authority link structures, but it's on a plate for you. You don't have to work out how to do it. You don't have to build them from scratch. They're all for you, and then the software will obviously track them as you construct them, tell you what to do next, lead you by the hand through the process. And so we're really, really, really pleased with this, and I think it's going to help a lot of people. It's not, guys, don't forget, we do our own SEO too. This helps us. This helps us with our team for them to run it and run the SEO that we're on the sites that we're building. So with that said, I want to, Chris, before we go, I've got a few Q&As that have come up quite a lot in the box. I'm going to come to those in just a minute. I just want to show people quickly, if I take the screen back, where they can access all this, because a lot of people are probably itching to get in there, and then we'll come back to the Q&A. So let me just take the screen back for myself, and let me know, guys, when you get the screen, when you get my screen. Great. So you can see along the menu along the top here, Chris has already put it up. So if you're a hybrid SEO member and you log in, you're going to see now a new menu item here, which is SEO 2017. In case you want to refer back to it, our legacy hybrid training is right here, and all the previous modules that were launched last year are here available to you if you want to refer back to them. We'll probably not leave them there forever, but just for the transition period, if some of you midway and want to refer back to some stuff, you can do that there. Now, if you don't see either of these menus, then you're probably not a hybrid member. I should have brought out one more page. But anyway, what you should see is this menu here, which has got all the new stuff that Chris has been through. Now, any of you guys who are SEO Breakthrough members who are in good standing, in other words, your monthly maintenance, $17 a month, is still in place. You have access to this. That's part of what your $17 a month pays for. It pays for the support we give you in Facebook and one-on-one in our ticket system. It pays for all the updates that we do. That's why Chris can work for 9 months, guys. 9 months of intensive effort to produce something, and we don't have to sell it to you guys, because by being a part of our community and paying the monthly maintenance, $17 a month, you get it all, and that's what enables us to do that work. Now, if you cancelled your $17 a month, no fear, you can rejoin, and under the dashboard menu, you'll see this item here, Access SEO 2017. You'll need to be logged in to see this, because this is not available to non-members. So you'll need to be logged in to see SEO 2017 access, and it's on this page here. I'll put a link in the chat box directly. You will need to be logged in, but it's seobreakthrough.com/dashboard/access SEO 2017, and this is for those of you who want to resubscribe to the $17 a month and get access to it. And it's got all the modules set out here that we've just been through. Beautifully set up, and a button at the bottom. Now, guys, if you cancelled last month your $17 a month, you don't have to pay $97. Okay, this is for this is for guys who cancelled 2 years ago, and all of the rest of you who've been loyal members paying $17 a month, and we're going to let guys back in for $17. Well, that would not be fair. But if you just cancelled a month or two ago, we won't charge you this. You just have to get in touch with support. But if you cancelled a while ago, we're giving you a 9-month intensive SEO course that normally sells for $997 for $97. So that's the idea behind that. But most of you guys, of course, who are still members, you don't have to worry about this page. It's already available to you. You click on one of these links and you're going through to the site. If you see wrong membership level page, then you must either have cancelled your $17 a month, or we've made a mistake. It's quite possible that we've made a mistake. So if you try to click on one of these pages and you get this page, you do not have access to this content, then either your 17 is cancelled or we've made a mistake, which is quite possible. Please just send us a support ticket if your $17 is still intact. And if it's not, you can click here again to go through to that access page. But for you guys who are members of good standing, you don't need to worry about any of this. It's all there. And there's always one or two on these calls who for some reason aren't members of SEO Breakthrough. And I don't know, is there anyone on this call? Let me know. Give me a 1 in the chat box if you are not yet a member of SEO Breakthrough, and we'll try and help you out. There are some people who are not members. Okay. Guys, if you're not members, SEO Breakthrough has been closed since November 2016. We only open it periodically, and it's closed. But if you are not a member, we have reopened it. Let me just bring up a new browser window, not logged in, SEO Breakthrough. If you just go to the site and don't log in, then and click on any of these pages, you'll get a page that says learn about SEO Breakthrough here. And so we have essentially reopened it for a week for you guys who are not members. It's been closed for 6 months, and it'll close again in a week. This isn't generally publicly available, but there it is for you guys if you want to join us. So hopefully that's enough for any of you to access it, and we'll get back to the teaching now. And Chris, I've got a couple of questions picked out that I want to cover first. Let me just put a different page up. Probably one of the biggest questions is for people who already have websites up with old style link structures. Well, I guess if you're ranking already, guys, you don't need to worry. You just maybe want to add very slowly over time a couple of really nice high authority ones just to protect against the future. But if you've got old style link structures and you're not ranking, well, Chris, that's probably something to address. Perhaps you'd like to talk through that one.
Yeah, you're right. If you are ranking, then you've been doing everything correctly, and just start building out using link structures. Make sure your inner linking's correct, and you'll do fine. But if you're ranking already, you're doing great. If you're not ranking and you've been working on it for ages and it's just not working for you, either your backlinks you're using are not very good, or you've been doing let's say bad anchor text, where all of your links, you've been using your money phrases too often, and Google's lost its trust in your website and they just don't want to rank you. Why would Google rank a site, any site, if it doesn't trust it? Doesn't want to give its customers, which are people who search on Google, sites that Google don't trust. So you need to gain Google's trust, and the way that you do that is to look natural. So make sure your anchor text is natural and follow the anchor text guidelines. Now, if your site is in that state where you can't rank it and it's just not working, then what you need to do is, you'll notice earlier in this webinar, I talked about Google Disavow tool in one of the videos. Well, that would be an option to consider. You have to be careful though, because once you say to Google, can you disavow these links? What you're also saying to Google is, can you also check my link profile? You have access to look at every link that's in my site. Often what happens is Google will disavow the links that you send them, but you may well end up in a manual penalty as well. So the result is you're in a worse position than you were before. So then you have to sort out all of your links, and it becomes a bit of a nightmare. If you can't rank your site, and you've been working on it for some time, often the best thing to do is start again. Horrible thought to think. Well, I have to start again. If you do have to start again, and you do it the way that we're teaching, you don't need to do that much to get your site to rank. If there's a heavy competition niche that you're in, then you just need more link structures. But the link structures are the way to go. And coupled with the foundational backlinks that we will talk about with the no-follow links, you still need those. But for your power linking, link structures is definitely the way to go. And that's really what you need to do.
Brilliant. Thanks, Chris. Let me just jump in quickly. Hopefully that answers the questions. A bunch of you guys who asked about, if I've got a site with old style link structures. If it hasn't, or if you've got follow-up questions, stick them in the chat box. While you've been typing, I've had a bunch of people asking about Access. So what I've just put in the chat box is a link to this Access SEO 2017 page. You will need to log in. So that is for SEO Breakthrough members whose 17 and up monthly maintenance charge, $17 a month monthly maintenance charge has lapsed, for you to resubscribe. And for guys who are not SEO Breakthrough members, I'm about to put a link in the chat box for those of you on the call who are not SEO Breakthrough members, and I'll put that in a moment. The next big question we got a lot of, Chris, is relating to people who are in stealth penalties or think they might be in stealth penalties. They've either said that in the chat or in the question, or they've said, my ranking sort of flattened out on page 2. And that's, guys, is a typical sign of a stealth penalty. Is you're doing good stuff, running some powerful backlinks, and you're sort of at the bottom of page 2 and you're just stuck there. So the question then is, Chris, will these super authority links structures help get out of stealth penalty, or what is the best strategy for dealing with that sort of stagnated rankings, which is probably a sign of a stealth penalty?
Yeah, if you have no control over the backlinks that are coming onto your site, and let's say that you're in a stealth penalty because of backlinking, and you have no control over those backlinks, then the only option you have is either to start again or disavow. Those are the only things that you can do. You could, there is another option, and that is do nothing, wait for 6 months and see if Google changes its mind. It may change its mind, it may not change its mind. Either way, you've still lost Google's trust. So the best thing
we have seen this, Chris, haven't we, just to jump in, is we have seen on occasion, the waiting, being patient can help with a stealth penalty because of the way Google seems to be applying them.
Yes, it can help. And if you do nothing, let's say, for example, you've been doing your link velocity has been it's just been too heavy, and then you stop and don't do anything. Often the time waiting can level things out, and then Google will or may let you off the hook. So those are your options if you have no control over the links coming to your site. The option is that if you can edit links that are coming in, and you know that your anchor text is over what we give as guidelines, then you should go and log into those sites, those posts, and change the anchor text. Change the anchor text to brand, domain, naked URL, or generic. If you're using money phrase, then you're making a big risk, because there aren't many natural money phrase anchor text used in the real non-SEO world. So that's what you can do. If let's say you've been using PBNs, your mini sites, and you've been hammering your anchor text, your money phrase anchor text, that's what you should do. I did some SEO on a site, on one of our own sites, and I did it all wrong myself. And I hammered money phrase anchor text, and I got exactly what I'm saying to people now, that it was in a stealth penalty, just wouldn't move. And then I realized what had happened and what I had done. And so now I went back into my sites and changed the URL, and that fixed the problem. Not instantly. Google doesn't respond instantly. They used to do knee-jerk reactions. You used to be able to shoot up to the first page from nowhere. That doesn't happen anymore. And so Google won't do a knee-jerk reaction, but you do something and you correct it, wait for a couple of weeks, and then you'll start to see things change. It won't change rapidly, but you'll see a curve going up in the correct direction. And once it starts, you start getting that momentum, you know you've done something right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the worst thing you can do in a stealth penalty, which we think, as far as we can tell, we're guessing, but what it seems to be is that the stealth penalty is a tripwire for an SEO. So Google will give you a stealth penalty, hold you on page 2, and they're watching to see what you do. And if you do more artificial SEO, they say, aha, we caught you out, because a lot of people will, traditionally an SEO will get ranked to page 2. So, oh, it's going great. I've got to page 2. I need a bunch more PBNs, and I'll get to page 1. And so Google sees that and has you tripped out. Now, we don't know this. It sort of seems to be what's happening, what we're guessing. So the worst thing you can do, of course, with the stealth penalty is to do more bad SEO. It's a combination of either good SEO and or waiting, so that this stealth penalty can just time expire. If you get to page 2 and you put a bunch of first tier PBNs, Google's got you caught. But if you get to page 2 and you don't do that, Google might say, and seems to have said with some of our sites after a period of time, oh, well, maybe this is not artificial SEO anymore, and it removes the stealth penalty. So the worst thing you can do is more bad SEO. The best thing you can do is wait. Also maybe a little bit of very careful good SEO, or again, as Chris said, ultimately it may come to a point of starting again. Is that fair enough, Chris?
Yeah, that's fine. Yes.
Good.
So someone's asked, can you do a press release if you're under a stealth penalty? Yeah, so Graham's asked that. So I think it was Graham. Sorry, Sam asked that. Well, the answer to that is probably not. You may have been able to do that once upon a time, but not anymore. Balancing anchor text to get out of a penalty, a stealth penalty, let's say, is much harder now than it used to be, because the anchor text percentages are so much more strict. In fact, I think I should show you. Would you be able to just put over the screen to my screen, John? And I'll just show something.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, there's a few questions coming about access. Some people say that they've not got access when your monthly subscription is intact. I do apologize about that. It is quite possible there are some mistakes for some of you. Please do just email support@jpteachme. I'll put it in the chat box in a moment. For those of you who are trying to find access, I put 2 links in the chat box, one for existing members of SEO Breakthrough who just need to resubscribe to the $17, and one for people who are not members of SEO Breakthrough. But those links are in the chat box. Sorry, Chris, I'll hand it over to you now. I just wanted to mention that. Hang on one second.
While you're handing that over, I'll just answer one of the questions. Someone's asked, do you have to do link structures if you're doing a local SEO? It depends on the competition. If you're in a very low competition niche, then you probably don't need to, and you just need to have do, let's say, a press release and just a few good quality links. If you're in a real estate niche, then yeah, you're going to need to have link structures, almost certainly. And if you're in anything more competitive, then yes to that. And link structures are, and go through the module and you'll see how we've made it simple. Okay, what I want to show you here is Anchor Text Balance Guidelines 2017, and there's even a calculation here that you can work out something here. But anyway, we've got 2 columns. We've got column A and column B. So column A is a brand new site. Column B is a 5-year plus aged site. Now, money key phrase. Let's say the money key phrase is lose weight fast. In a brand new site, how many times should you use that money phrase? The answer is 0%. You should never use your money phrase. You should never use rephrase money phrase like fast weight loss, or even part of the money phrase, lose weight, weight loss, etc. like that. 0% on everything. The only time we've got any kind of a percentage is here, which is a long tail phrase that includes one LSI keyword, broad or targeted. Well, lose weight fast, dieting is an LSI keyword. So quality info on dieting. It's not my money phrase, but it's an LSI, 1%. Okay, so on a brand new site, already with a brand new site, Google doesn't trust you, so you have to gain its trust, and you're not going to gain that trust at all by using money phrase key phrases. So going back to what I said, you don't need to have money phrases to rank a site. You can rank a site without using any of these on this first table here. Your next table here is brands, 25%. Short generic phrase like click here, 4%. Random generic phrases, 30%. Right? So I have an example of a random generic phrase. So this is a sentence. After analysis, the sample found in the hospital laboratory was found to contain ketones, which would account for the dramatic weight loss. So that's the sentence. The anchor text within that sentence, for example, my random generic phrase is sample found in the hospital laboratory. What sort of anchor text is that? That doesn't actually mean anything, but it's a generic, probably only ever used once, that links to the site. You go to the BBC website, virtually all of their backlinks are this type of link.
And I hope, guys, and if you just scroll up the page again, Chris, to the top, please take note of this. So this is the thing that we're even more strict on this now than we have been before, but we've been talking about this for a long time, and this is what we see a lot of people not following this teaching. 0%, as Chris has just been through, for a new site on money-related phrases. So please do take note of this, and it's very, very important for SEO 2017. Couple of other questions I wanted to cover. If you're still struggling, guys, with access, I've put them in the chat box, or let us know, or please do email support. We'll get you sorted out one way or the other, and I do apologize if some of you are stuck there. Ceci is asking, does Dynamic still offer advantages? And yeah, Chris and I use Dynamic for all our projects now, for all SEO. Anything we're trying to rank, we use Dynamic. I don't know if you guys have seen, but DUI lawyer, Anaheim DUI attorney, Anaheim DUI lawyer in Anaheim, we're ranking #1 for our DUI lawyer Anaheim site for a whole range of related keywords, DUI lawyer and DUI attorney. #1. We're beating out every other DUI lawyer, and there's some guys with some big SEO in there. That's a Dynamic site, and we continue to use Dynamic for everything we do. I'm sorry it's not available for sale right now. We hope it will be available again soon, but it's not available right now. And if you haven't got it right now, don't let that stop you, guys. You can still rank WordPress. You know, our DUI Anaheim site, we've been easier to rank because of Dynamic. We could still have ranked it with WordPress, so don't you worry about that. And there was one other that I saw in here that I just wanted to cover. Did I mark it with a priority? I've lost it. Chris, what other questions do you see coming in?
Just one quick one, just going back to this page on anchor text. You see this other column is 5-year. All right, so what if your site is 2-year-old? Well, that's where this comes in, this calculation. Okay, and that will answer your question. So download this document and then have a good look through and follow this, and then you won't be in penalty. You won't have an issue with that at all.
Yeah, and on that, Ken asked a good question. Do 5-year plus, does the column for 5-year plus also apply to aged domains that are purchased?
No, it doesn't. No, if it's an aged domain, it's a brand new site, because as far as Google's concerned, it's a brand new site. It's got new ownership and everything, so it's going back to trust. The only advantage that you have with an aged domain is the fact that it has backlinks, so that automatically gives you a boost. So long as that's the site that you're purchasing has backlinks that are in the same niche. Now, whether Google's brought that in yet, we don't know, but they are bringing that in. So if you're buying domains, you'll see this in the new training. You should make sure that the domains that you're buying for your PBN mini sites should be in the same niche that you're going to be building. So there's no point buying a domain that has amazing statistics. Let's say it's kungfukid.com, all about martial arts, and you're using it for baby clothes website. Okay, because the backlinks are not going to be relevant to baby clothes. So Google's officially said that they would devalue those backlinks. They wouldn't count. I don't think that they've brought that in just yet, but they're going to be bringing that in. So you need to be aware of that. I doubt very much they're going to backtrack it, but it will be from then on that they would deal with that. Right. So
Let's get a couple of questions about the our Anaheim site. Let me just take the screen, if I may, because I want to just show them. People are asking which page is it. So I'm just typing it into google.com in an incognito window. Just let me know, guys, quickly with a quick Y if you're getting my screen now and you can see a little incognito window.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's come through. Okay, so DR Law Anaheim. And we are an American Guinea Hog Association. So we've got the ads, loads of ads, obviously, because it's a very expensive keyword. We've got the 3-pack, and we are number one in the organic listings, even with the most ridiculous domain name you could imagine. There's nothing to do with lawyers in Anaheim. And so that was the sort of a test site we used to show you there. But you can see it there for a number of terms, DI lawyer, DI attorney, etc., etc. But just want to answer a couple of questions that Greg and others were asking about that. Righty-ho. What else have we got to cover? We're hopefully getting there. If any of you guys have still got particular questions about where to find this stuff, hopefully you found it now. For most of you who with your monthly maintenance still in place, nothing to do other than log into the site and go to the Hybrid SEO 2017 menu. Those of you whose $17 is no longer in place and just need to resubscribe under the dashboard, access SEO 2017, you will need to be logged in. And if you're not an SEO Breakthrough member, it amazes me, but there are still some SEOs in this world who are not SEO Breakthrough members who are on this call. I don't know why not, but we'd love to have you. We're holding it open just for a week, got it open just for a week, and the link is up here, john-pierce.com, powerranker-hybrid SEO, and the link is actually in the chat box as well. Chris, back to you for some other questions. I'll put this link back in the chat while we're chatting.
Yeah. So Graham's asking, how important is schema these days? Google say that they check over 200 different factors to determine rank. Some are more important than others. The top two important are content and backlinks. Okay, those are the most important ones. So obviously the most important hold the most percentage weight. Schema is helpful and it gives it more information than a site without schema. So the more information that you can give Google, the more in your favor. So Google work on a point basis when they do stuff. You get a score. You never know what that score is, but the better score you have, the better you're going to rank. So schema will help a tiny bit, but if operating schema is going to take you a lot of time to deal with and there's another headache, well, it's not that important. But if it's schema simple for you to do and it's a breeze, then do it because it's going to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Russell asked a good question. If we're not using keywords with anchor text, how does Google know what to rank our site for? Are we simply relying on the on-page optimization? And yeah, it's absolutely right. Google will take a view as to what your page or your site is relevant too, and rank it for related terms. And this is where the whole on-page process has become so much more important. I know we haven't talked about it so much on this call because that's not the part of this that has changed, but yeah, the on-page content of your site and relevance is absolutely fundamental. And Chris, do add to that if you want a moment. I just want to say, for those of you who are asking about where to find the anchor text information, is right here, module 3, video 3, and the PDF is just below here, just below video 4 in module 3. But Chris, add to anything if you want on that point I just made.
Yeah, well, I just typed into Bing search engines, and if I was to guess which was top ranking on Bing for search engines, I would have thought Bing was, but it's not. It's a search engine called Dogpile, and Google's down the list at position number 5 or 6, and actually Bing's not even on the first page. Yahoo is, but that's not working very well for Bing then, is it? So I've forgotten what the question is now.
Yeah, anyway. I'm not sure what you were saying there, Chris. The question was about if you're not using anchor text in your links, because obviously if you use anchor text, you're going to get yourself a penalty. Oh
yeah.
If you're not using anchor text in your links, how does Google know what to rank your page for? Are you just relying on the on-page?
Yes. Sorry, I went off completely off tangent.
You did. I don't know what you're talking about there for a moment.
Crazy. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's down to your website. Google knows what your site's about. It knows exactly what your site is all about. Your page, it'll go by the content. Now, Google RankBrain is an integral part of Google's algorithm, and in our training, we recommend that you leverage RankBrain. Now, RankBrain, Google uses RankBrain to determine what your page is about, and if you don't feed RankBrain, then you're not going to get a great score. So if your page is about baby clothes and you just have an image of baby clothes and you haven't got any alt tags on that, say it's baby clothes, and your title is amazing on your website, well, Google's not going to know what that page is about. You can determine what it thinks it might be from the rest of your site if it's clear what that site is about, but you have to give Google information for it to be able to rank. Otherwise, you're not going to rank very well. So it's not the backlinks anchor text that Google determines what your site's about. A backlink is a vote, and Google determines what your page or post or site is about purely by the content and the information it can crawl from your site.
That's great. And Yol's asking about, and a couple of others have asked about this as well, for Salsa, is it a web-based app? No, it's not web-based app. It's actually within SEO Breakthrough. I'm sorry. I'll start again. It is a web-based app. It is actually within SEO Breakthrough. You don't need to install it on your computer. It's within SEO Breakthrough. Sorry, Chris, which one? Module 4, isn't it? Just
Module 4, yes.
Show the page. And so module 4, super link structures, and you'll see a big red button that right now is not going to help you because it's not there yet, but tomorrow. Boston Bill was asking about the ETA, where I'll be very disappointed if it's not up tomorrow by the end of the day, but I'll probably live to regret those words as tomorrow becomes more stressful. It's basically ready. It should have been ready for today, but tomorrow almost certainly it'll be there. So it's all hosted within the website. There's no need to install it.
If it's not there tomorrow, there'll be a good reason our end why it isn't. So don't worry about it because it will come imminently. But just bear with us.
Yeah, should be. I'm an optimist. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Tom is saying that he's having trouble with the pop-up box on the order page. I guess let me show you what it should look like if you need to reorder your monthly maintenance. It should look like this. There's the order button, and it should pop up a window like that. If anyone else is having problems with it, let me know. But Tom, I don't know what to do other than ask you to email support, and we'll get you some other link to through to the same thing. But if anyone else is not seeing it pop up like that, let me know. And Tom, I appreciate you tried 2 machines. I don't know what the problem is. Don't know. Apologise. Just send us a ticket. We will get you sorted out for sure.
Jim's asking, is it possible to change anchor text in your guest post service? It's not quite as simple as that, because we would have to contact the webmaster, and the webmaster would have to then do the workload. And why should he do that? It's the first thought. I mean, if there was an incentive for him that he had a payment, then maybe yes, he could. But it would be something we would have to talk about and see what we could come up with. But it would almost certainly require an incentive for the webmaster to do that. So I don't know. I'd have to talk to John about that and see what we could deal with.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just reading questions and answering, so I didn't actually listen to build a comment, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Patrick's asking about the Wayback Machine software and when that's going to be ready. And we've made great progress. The team, we're on our 3rd software house. It's been a big and challenging and difficult project, and we literally burnt through 2 software houses who tried and failed, and the 3rd one, Yippee, is on the verge of success. And if I give you a date, I'm probably a bit like Richard Branson giving a date when his organization is going to go into space. He's stopped giving dates now. I don't know if any of you follow that stuff. I do, and it's the same with our Wayback Machine software. I keep giving dates and it keeps dropping back. I mean, I really hope we'll have it out in the next month to 2 months maximum, in the next month hopefully. And this is again part of this idea of making SEO turnkey. So you basically just start and join the dots, and all the challenging hard work is done through software, and it's a big part of that, obviously. So hopefully in the next month or so, Patrick, but maybe as much as 2 months.
Yeah, I'm more towards the 2 month side because we have a lot of testing to do.
Yeah, you're probably right.
A lot of testing to do, and then obviously when there's testing, if hopefully you everything's working 100%, but that doesn't happen in the software world. So it's then just fixing bugs, etc. So yeah, one month to 2 months. So more towards 2.
Yeah. For those of you, Lynn's asking about the SEO for e-commerce. Yes, Lynn, we've done that already. It's available in the group. For those of you who've joined that SEO for e-commerce group, that was done a month or so ago and is available to you guys. Kamal's asking about our qualifications. I'm highly qualified in all sorts of activities that I probably shouldn't talk about. No, Carl, you don't learn this stuff at universities and academic institutions. They don't know diddly about ranking in Google. 99.99% of them. In fact, 99.9% of the SEO world don't know how to do this stuff. And those that know it, most of them just do it and make a fortune in their SEO agencies, like Tony Adams making $1 million a year, one of our students who many of you know, and others. They don't teach it. They're too busy running their own businesses, making 7 figures a year. So why did Chris and I start teaching it? I don't know, but we do. We went into this business, and we're doing our own SEO too. But we've enjoyed it, and obviously we've made money by being able to teach it and sell it to people. But no, you don't learn this stuff at college. That is for sure. Darren writes, LOL qualifications. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, guys, we're getting we're now an hour 40 minutes in. I'd like to wrap it up now. If there are any further questions that we haven't answered or follow-up questions that we need to answer, please throw them in the chat box now. Delphine's just asked a long question. Have you read that one yet, Chris? No, I'm reading it now. Hang on.
All right, okay, let's see.
Oh, okay. Delphine, that's probably a question that's a bit specific. If you send a support ticket, or better still, put that question in the SEO for Ecom group. I think we'd answer it there. And I think it is covered actually in the PDF guide, but I'd rather not cover it here because it's a bit specific on SEO, if that's all right. Guys, any other questions need to be answered? I think probably not. Darren, yeah, we'll have a replay up hopefully tomorrow. Tomorrow morning English time, hopefully, or UK time.
Miles is asking about Amazon module. Amazon module hasn't changed. What has changed is the SEO breakthrough other modules, which of course feed the Amazon. So apply link structures to your Amazon page if you want your Amazon page to rank. So that's plus all the other bits and pieces.
Yeah. All the stuff just applies exactly the same way, and just the Amazon module covers some specifics related to the Amazon side of it rather than the off-page SEO side of it, if you like. But yeah, what Chris has said is right. All the SEO 2017 stuff that we've taught applies to whatever site you're trying to rank: YouTube video, Amazon page, Shopify site, or website, you name it. Jeff, the local SEO training is, well, it's extensive. Obviously, it relies on, again, it looks at some areas that are specific to local SEO, but still fundamentally, SEO is the same. The underlying fundamentals are the same, whatever you're trying to rank, but the local SEO modules cover specifically some issues related to local. Guys, I think we should Marguerite is also asking an e-commerce question. Send that in if you would buy a support ticket, and I'll answer it for you there. I think, guys, there's a nice little comment from Jay there. Looking forward to applying. Been with you 3 years. Excellent. Excellent. Sorry, I've gotten distracted reading questions, but I think they're just nice comments coming in from all of you guys saying thank you in various different ways. So thank you guys for attending. We'll get this replay up just as soon as we can. We'll get the Salsa app just as soon as we can up and on site so you can start building these highly complex link structures with the simplicity of just joining the dots, and that's the whole intention. Hope you have learnt a lot, and thank you again to Chris for all the immense effort over 9 months that you've done and you've put into this. And we're not done yet, guys. We are going to make this simpler and simpler and simpler to execute, as you know, with turnkey SEO the next couple of months, so that it really becomes child play. And guys, when you can rank at will at the top of Google, which you can now, but we're going to make it even easier just with tools and help. But when you can rank at the top of Google, the world's your oyster. It is such a powerful and such a valuable skill. There is no skill in internet marketing more valuable, I don't believe. And I think that would be fairly easy to justify that point than being able to rank at the top of Google, because Google is the monster of the internet. And the internet, well, we all know, those of us who are old enough to remember the world before the internet know how it is just taken over our lives. It is used everywhere, and Google is people's route into the internet. 80% of people's route to the internet is through Google. So why not let Google funnel those people to your website or your client's websites? That is why it is so phenomenally powerful. And on that very philosophical note, I'm going to wrap up tonight and say good night from me, and over to you, Chris, to wrap up.
Yeah, just answering one question, and it's from Jerry, and he's saying, where can I order guest posts in our service? Well, it's in the new module 5, and I think it's there's a buy button underneath video 5. I think it's video 5, so you can buy them from there. So I hope that answers. Okay, well, that's great. Thanks so much for all of you attending. Been a great webinar. I enjoyed it and hope you got a lot out of it. And so from us in the UK, it's good night, and for those of you just waking up, good morning, and have a good evening for everybody else. Thanks then. Bye bye.